So you probably have heard everywhere that meditation is good for you. It helps cognition. It decreases anxiety and depression symptoms. It helps manage chronic pain. It can improve sleep. It can even help people with binge eating and their relationship with food, and so many more things. But there's a problem with it. A lot of people think they can't meditate, or sitting there for 10, 20, 30 minutes doesn't sound very appealing. They don't think they'd enjoy it. A lot of people also just try to think about, like, how do I fit another thing into my life that's already full of things that I should be doing to be healthy, happy, and all those things. So I wanted to bring to you guys a very easy solution. So this is a 10-minute moving meditation challenge. So what we're going to combine is checking off a lot of boxes for your mobility, stability. We're going to build some strength, but we're also going to work on breath work. We're going to focus on mindfulness. We're going to have that meditative presence in our movement. So research shows that these movements can be very helpful, and especially if you're someone who tends to get very overwhelmed by things, and then trying to sit down and then try to meditate can be very difficult. So actually research shows that when we integrate the body into our meditative practices, we can actually get into a much better meditative state because mind and body are very much interlocked. So it's going to be super easy. Not easy as in to do it, but as far as what we're going to be doing. So there's going to be really just 2 drills. Now, what we're going to do is borrow from the idea that we're going to do these for extended periods of time. This isn't to be mean and beat you up and make you just feel tired. It's actually to teach you how to relax and get into that meditative state when you're doing these drills. So again, it's one of those things like, as you're doing it for longer, the more you should get into this very meditative state. So the first drill what we're going to do is we're going to get in a wide horse stance position. So feet are planted, grabbing for the ground, knees are going out, and I'm sitting down, I'm not sitting back. So my back is flat. I'm going to relax my torso. I'm going to put one hand on my hip, one hand by my belly button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift to one side. And as I shift, I'm pushing through this leg to go ahead and extend this arm out. Then I'm going to turn my pinky, so my palms away from me, shifting weight, pushing through this leg, and I'm making this circular motion. So I actually want to move about this speed at first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an inhale here, then try to extend the exhale. Inhale, and exhale. So we're going to do that for 2.5 minutes on that side. So this is actually not as bad as some people may think, because you can work up to doing this for 10 minutes, and that's a little bit more challenging. But you can see where foundationally it's going to require you to soften your hips, soften your body in order to get to that 2.5 minutes. Now you saw me just do it with body weight. You can definitely do that. But if you have access to our great mobility balls, we can actually add a little bit more shoulder stability with this work and build a little bit more strength. So it basically be the same thing now. Deep breath in. Exhale. Turn. Exhale. Or inhale, sorry. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So what's happening is, in order to do the drill, I want to first focus on just my breath, right? So meditation is not about not thinking about anything or not having thoughts pop up, but to have anchors to bring you back to what you're doing in that present moment. So breath is a very common one. What is my breath doing? Can I take long breaths, or are they very short and abbreviated because I'm holding a lot of tension? Then I can think about the movement of my arm. How fluid, how soft am I being with that arm? How much of a circle I'm making? What does a circle feel like? Same thing with my lower body. Think about my feet, the pressure that I'm creating in my feet, how I'm rotating to the hips. hips, how I'm able to shift weight back and forth and create this very fluid and efficient action, like so. So you have several anchors to really think about, and the balls actually give you another, because not only is there some load, but there's something to actually give feedback to and to think about as you're moving, again, through those patterns. So we do 2.5 minutes on one side, 2.5 minutes on the other side. So there's your 5 minutes right there. So let's get into the other drill. Put this back just for a moment. So we're in a different stance, a little bit of what we call bow stance. So bow stance looks kind of like a split squat, but the feet are about hip width apart, so my feet are not in line with one another. Both feet are flat, and this foot's turned about 45 degrees. I actually, for this drill, like to turn it a little bit more open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift weight forward. I'm going to open up my hips like so. One arm is going to be turned out. The other arm is going to be up like I'm serving something. So my weight's shifted forward. I'm going to shift back, rotate through my hips, pushing through my feet, and then make, again, circular motions with my hands as I come up and through. So you see this little rotation that's happening through the body. Circular and diagonal movements are very powerful for giving us stability and mobility through the body, because we're designed as these diagonal beams. So there's kind of like based off the P&F patterns of lifts and chops, but now we're adding a little bit more dynamic action, a little bit more coordinated. So I'm rotating my hands, shifting my weight back, looking back, rotating my hands as I push myself forward. So just like before, if we use the mobility balls, it's going to be a bit more challenging. So this would be, again, for 2.5 minutes. So you're going to have to learn how to relax your breathing, relax your body, how to sink into your feet very deeply. So here, back, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now, notice I'm not coming up and down in the movement either. So if you find yourself, you need to start a little higher up in the position, that's totally fine. If you want a little bit more of an effort that you're having in the lower body, then obviously go deeper. And if you start off deeper and during the 2.5 minutes you need to come up a little bit, that's fine. Then you can just build up upon that tolerance. So the reason I like this so much is because it does teach us how to be meditative in an exercise, but it's also teaching us how to soften and relax our bodies. So if you're very anxious and overwhelmed, if you actually learn to relax your body, it can help that mind relax as well. So we're getting a 2-for-1 deal there on the meditation side. It also makes it sound more economical for people. We're just doing 10 minutes, but we're also going to be doing a little bit of an exercise, right? We're doing some working out. It wouldn't surprise me if some people actually feel pretty tired or like they did a little mini workout after doing this session. So again, it's one of those things that I think really transfers for so many things, especially when people have issues with their hips, they have issues with core stability. Doing this, almost a daily challenge, could help you quite a bit in your overall well-being and your movement skills. So again, we're checking off so many boxes at once, it makes sense that in 10 minutes we can make time for this, because again, there's just so much we're accomplishing: breath work, meditation, relaxing our body, stability, mobility, strength, even some conditioning, right? And even some aerobic type of conditioning with it. So again, it's something that we can do, and we can do it very often. So again, it's one of those things that you can pick up very quickly. On the other side too, if 2.5 minutes ends up being too long, like you're just like, you try it like, wow, that was a lot harder than I expected. Trust me, it can be that way. You start off much less. Start off with a minute of each drill. Yeah, it's going to be only 4 minutes, but it's 4 minutes of productive work that you can build up upon progressively over time. So again, it's not one of those things that 10 minutes is magical. If you need to start with 4 minutes, start with 4 minutes, especially if you can be more consistent with it, and you're going to find the benefits accumulate the more you do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little meditative movement challenge. give us some feedback at info@ultimatesandbagtraining.com, and make sure to check out more from our blog.